you have a question, please press star then one on your touch-tone phone. Also, please note this conference is being recorded. I will now turn the call over to Oscar De La Hoya.
Thank you very much. Thank you to all the media that have dialed in today for the Canelo Alvarez International Media Conference call. The middleweight for supremacy between Lineal and Ring Magazine middleweight world champion Canelo Alvarez and the WBC, IBO, IBF, WBA middleweight world champion Gennady Triple G Golovkin is Saturday, September 16, live at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, and this will be televised on the best network for boxing, HBO pay-per-view. We are obviously extremely pleased with all the fans who have bought their tickets, who have made this event a sold-out event in only 2 weeks. Obviously, it shows you the anticipation and it shows you the interest that the fans have for this event. Today, we will hear from Canelo Alvarez and his team. You will have the opportunity to ask questions ahead of his upcoming battle against Triple G. This is by far and away the biggest boxing event of 2017, and we are expecting a non-stop action fight between two of the most skilled fighters in the sport today. The response to this fight has been incredible. Like I said, tickets have sold out quickly, and the fans can't wait to celebrate on this special day of Mexican Independence weekend and this epic battle. Like I said, you will hear from the fighter momentarily, Canelo Alvarez. I am extremely proud and happy to have Tecate as the primary sponsor, Born Bold, Hennessy, Never Stop, Never Settle, and O'Reilly Auto Parts, Fred Loya Insurance, Fathom Events, and Casena Bank, Capital Holdings. We are extremely proud to have them on board as sponsors. Thank you for all your support. And before I turn it over to Team Canelo, I want to remind everyone to mark their calendars for the first episode of 24/7 Canelo Golovkin, which premieres Saturday, August 26th on HBO, immediately following the Cotto versus Kamagai Live World Championship Boxing doubleheader from the StubHub Center, and that'll take place at 9:45 p.m. Eastern Pacific. So 24/7 Canelo Golovkin will premiere Saturday, August 26th, live on HBO Championship Boxing. Now, up next, we will hear from Team Canelo Alvarez. Primeramente les quiero presentar. He is the manager and trainer of Canelo Alvarez. Para decir unas palabras y cómo va la preparación, les quiero presentar a Chepo Reynoso, José Chepo Reynoso.
¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo están? Muy buenos días. Bueno, pues a sus órdenes para decirles que la preparación va de acuerdo a lo que se ha planeado, una preparación fuerte e intensa, porque es una pelea intensa como la esperamos, pero todo muy bien y estamos a sus órdenes para que les ofrezca.
I'll translate that. This is Eric Gomez. He said, hi, good morning to everybody. We're excited about the fight. We're close, coming close to the fight. Obviously, preparation for the fight and the training camp is going as planned. We're expecting an intense fight, and that's what we're working towards. So thank you, and we're available for any questions.
Thank you very much. Next up, he is the trainer of Saul Canelo Alvarez, and who has been doing an incredible job over the last few years. He is the head trainer, and that is Eddie Reynoso, to say a few words. Eddie.
Hola, buenas tardes, buenos días. Pues aquí saludándolos y para servirles todo va marchando muy bien y estamos muy contentos con todo lo que se ha realizado y pues vamos a...
This is live. Canelo's on the call.
Good afternoon, good morning, actually, to everyone. Very excited, very happy with the preparation. We're marching slowly towards the fight, and everything's going as planned. And we're very excited, obviously. fight's getting close, and as we get closer, there's more excitement. But we're working hard, and everything's going as planned.
Thank you, Eddie. And now to introduce a young man at the age of 27 years old. He has already accomplished more than most fighters will achieve in their entire career. He is a two-time two-division world champion at both junior middleweight and middleweight levels. He has raised his hands 49 times in victory with 34 knockouts. He has taken on some of the toughest challenges in his young career, including the likes of Miguel Cotto and Austin Trout and James Kirkland, Rizwan Lara, Floyd Mayweather, Amir Khan. And with that, he is now taking on the toughest challenge of his entire career in Gennady Golovkin on September 16th, which is sure to be a can't-miss candidate for Fight of the Year. It is my pleasure to introduce to you Saúl Canelo Alvarez.
¿Qué tal a todos? Buenos días. Estoy muy contento de estar con ustedes otra vez y pues en este otro reto y entusiasmado como siempre para brindarles una gran pelea y un gran triunfo.
Good morning to everybody. Very excited, very happy to be on this call. Obviously, ready for this next fight that's in front of me, preparing well, and ready to give you guys a great fight. So, thank you for being on the call. Okay, so now we'll open it up to questions. We're ready for questions. So, moderator, if you can.
I'm gonna try to get a question in.
Thank you. We will now begin the question and answer session. If you have a question, please press star, then 1 on your touch-tone phone. If you wish to remove yourself from the queue, please press the pound sign.
Y'all see? So
please press star 1.
I pressed star 1. Y'all heard it?
It's from Dan Rafael from ESPN.
Thank you very much. Hello, everybody. My first question is for Canelo.
Dan always goes first.
You have a lot of knockouts in your career, some very sensational ones, like against James Kirkland and Amir Khan. But going into the fight, it seems like Gennady is known as a really big puncher because he had such a huge knockout streak. And I'm wondering if you think that maybe Gennady and his team, or perhaps the fans, underestimate the punching power that you bring into this kind of fight.
La pregunta, let me try and take that down. This is Eric.
Okay, thanks, Eric.
La pregunta es, obviamente, Saúl, tú tienes mucho poder, tienes muchos knockouts. Pero también, obviamente, Ari Golovkin tiene muchos knockouts también en su carrera y es un peleador muy poderoso. ¿Tú crees que están sobreestimando el punch que tú tienes, el poder que tú tienes?
No, yo creo que es una pelea donde los dos tenemos poder, donde los dos tenemos un estilo que se...
He got to learn English, though.
Una pelea muy buena, lo que la gente le gusta, una pelea donde puede haber knockout, donde va a haber muchos golpes, mucha acción y pues, es lo que espera la
gente. Yeah, Golovkin's media call is coming up.
No, I don't think they're underestimating my power. I think that both the fans know and you guys know that the styles, we both have attractive styles, and we're both going to fight a fight where
that style
they can win by knockout. We both have the power to win by knockout, but that's what makes for a great fight, and I think that's what makes it an attractive fight for the fans.
Now, I know that Gennady has never been knocked down in his career. I don't believe that Canelo has been knocked down, maybe rocked a couple of times, but never on the deck, to my knowledge. Does he think that because of the punching power that both of these guys have, that there may come a time in this fight where one or both of them may be on the floor?
La pregunta es, obviamente, los dos peleadores, ambos peleadores, nunca los han tirado al piso. Sí, quizás han estado un poco lastimados en peleas, pero tirado nunca. Pero ¿tú crees que es posible en esta pelea? Porque los dos tienen el poder. ¿Es posible que uno podría tirar al otro?
En el boxeo todo es posible. En una pelea todo es posible y más cuando hay poder de por medio. cuando hay historia de que son noqueadores, creo que es mucho más posible todavía, y claro que sí, en el boxeo, aunque un peleador no...
That's a good question, Bobby. I'm going to use that term too, money grab.
O lo que sea.
Remember, if I get questions in, normally I don't get questions in until the very end. I'm at the low of the totem pole.
Obviously, anything can happen.
So I do be getting questions in on some of these calls.
At any time.
But not, you know, if I get a question, it is always at the end.
Punching power. You know, you can have a fighter that might not be a big puncher, but if he connects that perfect punch at the right spot, he can knock down anybody. So yes, of course it can happen. It can happen because of the amount of punching power both fighters have.
I want to ask also one other question of Canelo. This is easily the biggest middleweight championship fight in a long time. You know, I think of past big fights of the last 20 years, let's say. Oscar's fight with Hopkins, Bernard's fight with Trinidad, Canelo's fight with Miguel Cotto, Hagler, Hearns going back a little bit further. I want to know from Canelo if how much does he know about the history of the middleweight division, and where does he view this fight sort of in that great list of, you know, the big middleweight championship fights that we've seen in this sport over the years?
Okay, la pregunta es, obviamente, él reconoce que quizás es una de las más grandes peleas en el peso mediano. Tienes que pensar de las grandes peleas que tuvo Hopkins, que tuvo Oscar, también obviamente Marles Hagler, pero ¿tú consideras que esta es una de las grandes peleas en el peso mediano en los últimos años?
Sin duda, creo que es una pelea que va a quedar.
Now, I'm going to ask
esas grandes peleas entre pesos medianos.
I'm going to ask about the WBC situation. I want them to give us a clear answer. Also, what is going on with the undercard? Look, this is the undercard right here. What is going on with the undercard?
Es como esas grandes peleas, ¿no? Esperemos a ver cómo se desarrolla la pelea, y pues pondré todo de mi parte para que quede marcada en la historia.
So for those who don't know, I'm going to upload the actual full media call in high definition.
One of the best fights in history.
Tomorrow.
Down as one of the best fights in history. On paper, obviously, you know.
So we're just chatting during this one, and we're going to talk about the fight after the call's over.
It really depends how the fight comes out, how it pans out. I'm going to do my part to make it memorable so it can go down in history as one of the best fights. I know that for sure. I'm going to do my part. But
yeah, this is the undercard.
It can easily be considered one of the best fights in history.
True modern broadcast.
Next question comes from Salvador Rodriguez from ESPN Deportes.
¿Cómo están, caballeros? Saludos a Eddie, a Chepo, a Oscar, a Eric.
Yo, ESPN Deportes always loud.
Muchas gracias por toda la llamada, por la entrevista. Quiero preguntar, ¿crees que esta pelea reúne los ingredientes para hacer una pelea que marque un antes y un después en la historia del boxeo mexicano, por la calidad de tu rival, por el momento que estás atravesando?
Let me translate that into English. The question is, you know, does this fight have the ingredients, possibly be the biggest fight, the best fight ever in the history of Mexican boxing, before and after?
Mira, yo creo que hay muchas peleas, ha habido muchas peleas grandes que han hecho los mexicanos y han quedado en la historia, pero creo que esta es una pelea que sí, que puede dar un paso, un antes y un después a esas peleas, ¿no?, que hubo antes. Ahora estamos en otros tiempos, y creo que sí puede dar ese paso.
The answer was yes. You know, obviously there's been many great historic Mexican fights with Mexican fighters. And this fight, yeah, it's on that caliber. Can it be the best? Well, it really depends how the fight comes out. But yes, you know, the ingredients are there so it can be a great fight.
También para Canelo, las grandes peleas o los grandes triunfos del boxeo mexicano, recapitulamos quizá Julio César Chávez sobre Medrick Taylor, Salvador Sánchez sobre Wilfredo Gómez, Juan Manuel Márquez sobre Manny Pacquiao, terminaron por la vía del knockout. ¿Sueñas, no solo con ganar, que es evidente, sueñas con noquear a Gennady Golovkin este 16 de septiembre?
Let me translate that. So, obviously, some of the great fights in Mexican history. Chavez over Meldrick Taylor ended up in a knockout. Salvador Sanchez over Ricardo Gomez ended up in a knockout. Marquez Pacquiao ended in a knockout. So those are some of the most historic victories for Mexican fighters. Obviously, you want to win the fight, but do you want to try to win by knockout?
Mira, yo creo que siempre un peleador sueña con el knockout, ¿no? Siempre ganar por knockout, pues es más espectacular, la victoria es más contundente y para la gente también, ¿no? Obviamente, esta es una pelea que puede haber knockout y claro que sí, me gustaría que terminara por knockout y ganar por knockout.
But obviously, any fighter dreams of winning by knockout, and that's what the fans want to see, and that's what makes for an exciting fight, and that's what makes for a resounding fight, a resounding experience for the fans, and there's no question with the victory. But yes, of course I would want to win by knockout.
Por último, para Eddie Reynoso y para Chepo Reynoso, siendo esta una pelea de gran magnitud, sabiendo de la presión que pudieran acarrear, ¿qué es lo que hacen ustedes para tratar de no estar siempre centrado en Golovkin, no estar siempre centrado en el boxeo? ¿Qué? Hablan de béisbol porque sabemos que Eddie es un gran fanático del béisbol, hablan de música porque Chepo es un gran cantante, ¿o qué hacen para no ser siempre boxeo o es solo boxeo?
No, nada, aquí de todo, la verdad, pues ya nervios, no, estamos en lo que nos gusta, estamos en las peleas que queríamos agarrar, entonces
sometimes these media calls do be boring as shit.
Muchas maneras, jugando, vacilando, cantando, vamos al béisbol y...
Some of them be crazy though.
Pero lo que menos hay es miedo, como dice por ahí.
Okay, let me translate that. So the question was obviously...
We're going to talk about it after.
And you guys are obviously concentrating. This is a big event, huge fight. How do you guys deal with... not distracting yourself from the magnitude of the fight.
I'm looking at memes.
Things to keep your mind occupied, not just concentrating on Golovkin 100% of the time. There are things you guys do for distraction. And the question was, yeah, we do a little bit of everything. We sing, we joke around in camp. We like baseball. We go to baseball games. We're doing what we like. We asked for these fights. These are the fights we want, so we're enjoying the moment. But I can tell you one thing, that there isn't any fear. There isn't any fear whatsoever because we're ready for this fight. We asked for it. This is what we wanted.
Next, we have Jim Truesme from the Wall Street Journal.
Hi, Canelo. As Oscar mentioned, you've taken on some of the toughest challenges in boxing. It's been nearly 4 years since your fight against Floyd Mayweather. How have you changed as a fighter since that bout?
I'll translate that. La pregunta es, obviamente, como mencionó, Oscar, has estado en eventos y peleas grandes ya en tu carrera. Y hace 4 años más o menos que ya pasaron desde que peleaste.
This is my job, I'm supposed to listen to these, all of them.
Has aprendido de esa pelea.
So y'all can leave.
Oh, he aprendido.
I'm still gonna be here.
Mucho en este tiempo, hoy soy un peleador con más confianza arriba del cuadrilátero.
Leave.
Más experiencia, más maduro. Creo que estoy en una etapa importante de mi carrera, ¿no? En un punto importante. Y es base a las peleas, ¿no? A lo que he aprendido y me siento más confiado arriba del cuadrilátero.
Yeah, I definitely learned a lot. I have more experience now. I feel more confident. I'm more of a mature fighter now. Obviously, not just that fight, but the fights that followed had got me to this point. But yes, I've changed and I learned from it, and I just feel I'm more of a complete fighter now. I have more experience. And the confidence is probably the one thing that I can point out the most.
So in that fight, what did Floyd do to take you out of your initial game plan, and how would you anticipate, if Golovkin does the same thing, how would you adjust to that?
Obviamente en esa pelea con Floyd te sacó fuera de ritmo, fuera de tu plan. ¿Qué es lo que vas a hacer si Golovkin trata de hacer lo mismo, sacarte de tu plan de ataque?
No, mira, en esa pelea con Floyd me ganó la experiencia. Un Floyd que ya tenía mucho en el boxeo.
The hell with this, we're going to take a couple hits. Be right back.
me ganó la
hell with
experiencia
this shit.
simplemente, ¿no? Y en esta ocasión, pues es muy diferente. Soy un peleador más completo, con más experiencia, y eso no va a pasar.
Obviously, when that fight with Floyd, I think the only reason he beat me was because of the experience. He had more experience. He had more championship fights under his belt. And in this fight, it's going to be different. You know, I have a lot of experience now, and I'm not going to let that happen again in this fight because I have more confidence and I have more experience.
Next, we have Ricardo Zuniga from Associated Press.
Hola Canelo, saludos. Hablando del tema de la experiencia, a pesar de que eres más joven que Golovkin, ¿te parece
And the
que
questions
en
be
ese
so
sentido,
generic, man.
grandes que han estado siendo peleas estelares en lugares como Las Vegas, que ese aspecto te favorece a ti sobre Golovkin?
This is all live, by the way.
Obviously, you're talking about experience. You have more experience now. You've had more fights. You've had many fights in Las Vegas and Nevada. Do you think that that's going to help you? Is that one of your strengths going into this fight, that you have more experience fighting in Las Vegas?
No, creo que un peleador como Golovkin o como yo, no creo que haya ventaja si tengo más peleas en Las Vegas o en otro lado. Creo que eso ya es de experiencia. Él es un peleador con experiencia y creo que eso no se da ninguna ventaja.
No, I don't think that's an advantage fighting in Vegas. You know, when you're fighting a veteran like Golovkin, a professional champion like Golovkin, you know, having more fights in Las Vegas is not an advantage. He's going to be ready to fight, and he'll be ready to fight anywhere. So I don't think it's an advantage.
Y una pregunta para Chepo. Si nos podrías comentar una o dos cosas específicas que hayan visto de Golovkin en su última pelea contra Jacobs, que algunas debilidades que le hayan notado que ustedes crean que pueden explotar en esta pelea.
So the question is for Chepo. Did you guys pick up any weaknesses? Anything you can talk about from Golovkin's last fight with Jacobs? Any weaknesses that you guys can exploit?
Bueno, vimos algunas cosas, algunas debilidades que siempre le hemos visto, y ese día vamos a tratar de explotar sus debilidades, sus puntos débiles, sus carencias. Entonces, precisamente para eso está trabajando. Sí hemos visto las debilidades,
Alejandro,
lo que vamos a aprovechar ese día 16 de septiembre, así que para eso estamos trabajando.
Yes, there's some things that we noticed. There's the things that we've always noticed about him. He's got some weaknesses, and that's what we're working towards. We're looking to exploit him on September 16th. But that's the reason why we've studied him, and we've been working on that.
Next, we have Lance Bugmeyer from Los Angeles Times.
Hey, Canelo. I know that, I had some conversations with Mauricio Suleiman at the WBC, and I know he really wanted
okay, here's the question I was going to ask.
on the line and for you to be fighting for that belt. I know at this point you've decided not to do that. Can you explain why? And I know
Extensions.
Eric has tried to help mediate the situation. Is there any chance that at the end of the day the WBC belt will be on the line with Canelo embracing it?
La pregunta es, obviamente, ya salió, vas a pelear por los títulos, obviamente no está en juego la de la CMB. Podrías hablar.
This is important, listen.
Y podría cambiar esta
Lo que ya he dicho, o sea, no hay más de lo que ya he dicho. Eso, lo que salió y lo que dijo, eso es lo que es.
I've already talked about that. I've already talked about it. I've already made comments about that. So, whatever I said.
They got to fix their phone.
Next, we have Dan Rafael from ESPN.
Oh!
Thank you very much. I have a question for Oscar. Oscar, are you still there?
Yes, he's there.
Hey, Oscar.
Damn it!
I asked earlier about to Canelo about just his perspective.
That's not on my end. That's on their end.
This fight within the great history of the middleweight championship fights. You obviously had one of the biggest middleweight fights in boxing when you faced off against Bernard. This fight in the great pantheon of these middleweight championship fights that have taken place over the last, say 20 years or so. And yeah, I want to participate in one of them.
By far, this is the biggest probably in the history of the middleweight division. The fact that you have two
bigger than Hagler Hearns, bigger than those types of fights.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we have to wait for the actual fight, see what unfolds and takes place. But in terms of magnitude, in terms of you know, PR, in terms of attention that it's receiving, in terms of people that will be watching, yes, this has to be the biggest. And obviously, we will have to wait till September 16th to see if it's going to be the best, which I think it will be.
Do you want me to ask money grab question?
Division, but it has all the ingredients to unfold to be one of the best fights in the last 30 years. So
no, I can't get no cheap dances.
Obviously, the indications tell us that this will be a huge blockbuster.
Oscar, can you also talk about the fact that,
my end?
You participate yourself in so many huge fights?
That's not my end.
And this is, I guess, other than when Canelo fought Floyd, this would be his biggest fight.
It's not on my end.
That was obviously a really big fight. You know, it was record-breaking at the time. The stuff leading up to the fight, and there's the fight itself. With the limelight and everything, can you just talk about just the emotional aspect of being involved in such a mega event?
For the athlete, it's exciting because you can once again showcase your talent in front of a large audience.
That's on their end, y'all.
So it obviously gives you the motivation to train harder, train smarter, and do the very best stuff in the ring. All the publicity, everything that's going around the whole event. For an athlete, you don't really pay attention to it. You try not to pay attention to it. You just let it unfold on its own. You know that you have.
Let me see if I can fix this.
That side of the business, but it's from an athlete's perspective, it's just extra motivating.
No, I ain't getting no cheap strippers, man.
And showcase your talent.
Thank you. Next, we have Diego Martinez from Reforma.
Diego. Hola, ¿cómo está? Buenas tardes. Hola, Saúl, hola a todo el equipo. Saúl, en tu caso, gracias por estos minutos. Hace unos años tuviste la oportunidad de enfrentar a Golovkin en el carro. ¿Qué tanto te acuerdas de esa pasión? ¿Qué tanto aprendiste? ¿Qué tanto viste? Punto de David. ¿Cómo nos puedes narrar esos momentos que hiciste tarde con él?
The question is, you know, from your back, part of it, you get the training camp to get sparred together. Did you learn anything from that back then? Was there anything that you were able
This static is killing me, guys.
back then can help you?
Bueno, yo creo que un sparring a una pelea ya es muy diferente, ¿no? Han pasado muchos años. Creo que es muy diferente y me acuerdo bien. Obviamente, pues vamos a sacar lo que se puede de ahí, pero creo que no es bueno basarnos en lo que hicimos en el sparring, no hay que basarnos en lo que está ahora, en lo como lo hemos visto y prepararnos para el Golovkin de ahora.
Yes, I was able to pick up the thing, but you can't really compare a sparring session to a fight. There's some things that I was able to pick up, but we're different. We're different fighters now, and you can't really base everything on what you learn in a sparring session. Yes, there are some things that I picked up, but obviously, I'm not basing everything on that.
They're talking about the Golovkin Canelo sparring session all those years back.
¿Y cómo te preparas? Obviamente, nosotros estamos muy jóvenes, pero con mucha madurez logística. ¿Qué tan complicado es lidiar con muchas cosas, a veces buenas, a veces malas?
Yeah, this static is killing me. The static is killing me. It's getting to the point where I'm just about to cut the whole call off.
Imagínate a esta edad estar en esta cima del boxeo del deporte.
How do you? The question is, obviously, this is a big fight. A lot of pressure in this fight. A lot of stress, pressure.
I do understand what they're talking about. and I am going to paraphrase it for you.
You're very mature, boxing-wise. How do you prepare yourself, your mind, with all of this? Is it pressure? Is it good? Is it bad? There's a lot of pressure in this fight.
No, mira, he estado en grandes peleas. Creo que me han dado la experiencia para poder asimilar todo esto. Y pues siempre soy una persona y un peleador que siempre sabe lo que quiere. Y el imaginar, el estar aquí, pues nunca me imaginé la magnitud, ¿no? Siempre soñé con ser uno de los mejores, pero nunca me imaginé la magnitud a lo que he llegado a hacer. Pero gracias a Dios aquí estamos y tratamos de hacerlo de la mejor manera, ¿no? Entrenar al 100% para asumir esta gran responsabilidad que tengo en este momento.
No, obviously, you know, I'm doing something that I wanted. I'm doing something that I asked for and I like. And I've always pictured myself or imagined myself being one of
I want them to fix the static.
You know, and big fights. I have a lot of experience. I've been in big fights already. I could have never imagined the magnitude that it's gotten to, but I've always wanted this. I've always wanted to be in big fights and the biggest challenges. So for me, it's something that I was asking for and I wanted, and I'm ready for it. It's no real pressure.
Next, we have Mike Choppinger from RingTV.com.
Hi, Canelo. Quick question. Earlier you were saying that you wanted to do your part to make the fight one of the best ever. What does that entail exactly? Does that just mean, you know, pressuring more and opening up? Like, what do you expect?
Anteriormente tú habías dicho que tú vas a hacer tu parte para que sea una pelea, un evento histórico. ¿De qué manera estabas hablando de eso? ¿Qué es lo que tenías pensado hacer? ¿Presionar más, tirar más golpes? ¿Cómo?
No, dar lo mejor de mí arriba del cuadrilátero. Si tengo que presionar más, tirar más golpes, lo que sea que tenga que hacer arriba del cuadrilátero para que sea una gran pelea y para obviamente ganar, salir con la mano en alto, pues lo voy a hacer, ¿no? Siempre un paso adelante que mi rival.
Give the best of me, the best possible part of me that I can give in that fight. More punches.
Who the fuck is calling?
Whatever it's going to take to win the fight, but to make it memorable and exciting, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give all of me, whatever I have to do.
Next, we have Salvador Rodriguez from ESPN Deportes.
Hola de nuevo, pero ahora para Oscar de la
They went to
Hoya.
they did me dirty. They went back to ESPN Deportes.
Hace unas semanas, quizá había muchos rumores de qué tanto podía afectar Mayweather McGregor. Hoy con todos los problemas que tiene esa cartelera, ves mucho más fortalecido el pay-per-view de Canelo y Golovkin para septiembre 16.
The question is for Oscar. Oscar, obviously, there was a lot of stories out there and rumors about how the Mayweather fight with McGregor was going to affect the pay-per-view, Canelo's pay-per-view with Golovkin. But obviously, lately, there's been a lot of bad write-ups and criticism towards that fight, and they're struggling with a lot of the business part of the fight. Do you think that it's going to still affect you guys in any way, or does it make Jerry Ben even better now?
Yo creo que lo más importante es de que nosotros lo estamos enfocando en nuestro evento, un evento boxístico, un evento de box, un evento serio, y obviamente los fans reconocen la seriedad de este gran evento con Canelo y Golovkin, y obviamente pues el hecho
they curved me.
Los boletos se agotaron en menos de 2 semanas, es una gran indicación. Pero nada, tenemos un gran apoyo de los patrocinadores y la gente va a quedar muy contenta con la pelea.
The answer was, we're concentrating on our event, our fight. Obviously, we have the real fight. We have a serious fight, serious event. We're the best fighters fighting each other, and I think the fans have recognized that.
That's not me.
Recognize that, and so have the sponsors and a lot of the media people. They've recognized this is the real fight. This is the fight that they want to be at. This is the fight that they want to see. Clear indication is we sold out in 10 days. And I feel that the fans are recognizing that this is the fight that is the real fight, and that's what they want.
Next, we have Manuel Martin from La Unión.
¿Qué tal? Buenos días.
No, I can understand it. It's just that the static is annoying. It's annoying.
Entrando en estos momentos a 5 semanas más o menos de la pelea y saber si has notado alguna diferencia en la pegada o la velocidad en comparación con tu preparación para la pelea con Chávez Jr.
The question is, this early out, before the fight, how's your weight? What are you weighing more or less? And do you feel a difference from the Chavez fight? Do you feel maybe the speed difference or maybe more power, your punching power?
No, me he sentido bien, con poder, velocidad. Nada ha cambiado de mi velocidad. Me he sentido más fuerte, obviamente, ¿no? Por el peso, pero mi velocidad ahí sigue y estoy registrando de 172 a 175 libras, en eso ando entrenando y la verdad que me siento muy bien, mi poder ha crecido y mi rapidez ahí sigue.
I feel really good. Everything's going great. Everything's going as planned. I feel really, really good. My speed is still there. I still have the same speed. If anything, I feel maybe a little stronger. Due to the exercises and preparation, I feel a little bit stronger, a little more power in my punches. But, you know, I'm maintaining my weight right around 172, 175, around there. That's what I train at. And I feel really good.
Next, we have Jack Jorgensen from Fansided.com.
Canelo says he's around 172, 175.
Stay on the Mayweather-McGregor train. But last year, he did call you out for specifically, you know, shying away from the Triple G fight, which is now happening. And you told him anytime he wants to come to your world, he can do it. Well, you don't think it's going to happen. Should Conor shock the world on the 26th? And should he find he has a newfound passion for boxing after pulling off the upset of the century and beating Floyd, would you be open to fighting him if that's what Conor wanted to do?
Was it Conor that criticized him a year ago? Is that who it was, or was it Floyd?
No, it was Conor, and then Canelo said if he wants to try out boxing.
Dice que hace un año se criticó a Conor McGregor y que porque no habías tomado la pelea con Golovkin, obviamente ya se hizo la pelea y no nada de hablar. Pero si él llega a hacer algo histórico, ganarle a Floyd, ¿tú quisieras pelear con él? Si se presenta la oportunidad.
Bueno, si sucede ese milagro, pues ya estaríamos hablando de un boxeador de verdad, pero lo dudo mucho.
If that miracle was to happen, then it's a different conversation. You know, if that miracle was to happen, but I doubt it very much.
We have Dan Rafael from ESPN.
Thank you very much. I had another question for Oscar, if you're there still, Oscar.
Yes.
Oscar, earlier in the call, I was asked of Canelo, and he talked about the improvements that he made in the Floyd Mayweather fight. That was a big learning experience in his only defeat. And I wanted to know from you if you could talk about the types of improvements that you have seen from Canelo when you watched him or talked about him or talked with him about what he plans to do in this particular fight. I mean, he's a few years older now. Obviously, he's more experienced. He's put on a little bit of weight. What improvements do you see from Canelo Alvarez?
Yes, well, obviously, Canelo is an ambitious person, ambitious fighter. Yes, he did take that fight too soon, but the progress that he has made has been incredible. I mean, in terms of his punching power, his boxing ability, him throwing his combinations, his jab has improved tremendously. And it's only the beginning. I strongly feel that he's only getting better.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be getting a question in.
Testament to his corner, to his trainers. I mean, they're doing a phenomenal job with him, and it's a testament to Canelo.
Hopefully,
wanting to become the very best at the end of the day.
Now, are either Eddie or Chepo there also?
Yeah, they're here.
I was wondering if you could ask Eric them about what Oscar was just talking about, just if they could pinpoint some of the things specifically that they may have worked on and the improvements that they believe that Canelo has made since his one loss to Floyd, which is probably like 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
La pregunta es para ambos peleadores, ambos entrenadores. Obviamente la pregunta era cómo ha mejorado, qué es la diferencia que han visto en Saúl, cómo han mejorado después de la pelea de Mayweather. Obviamente todos estos años se han pasado, pero se habló de que ha mejorado bastante. ¿Qué es lo que han visto ustedes específicamente que ha mejorado?
Bueno, él es un peleador ya más completo, un peleador con mejor manejo de la defensa, mejor manejo de la cintura, es un mejor contragolpeador, es un peleador más constante. Pues todo eso se lo ha dado la experiencia de las peleas que ha tenido, las grandes peleas, las grandes batallas que ha sorteado después de Mayweather. Yo puedo decir que hoy por hoy es un peleador 100% muy diferente al que enfrentó Mayweather, un peleador más completo, más seguro, más todo.
There's so many things, the experience that he gained from the fight.
I'm gonna comb my beard.
There's not one specific thing in general, but he's just, he's more of a complete fighter. But the experience was a big part of it that he earned, and he got a lot of experience out of that fight. And there's different things that we worked on in the gym, but he's more of a complete fighter now, and he's 100% a different fighter than the fighter that faced Mayweather that night.
Next we have Jose Sanchez from Hawaii, Chicago.
Sí, un saludo.
What is Jose Sanchez?
Preguntarte, soy los dos mejores boxeadores ahora mismo del momento. ¿Piensas que en esta pelea, aparte de los títulos de la división, está el título de quién es el mejor boxeador del mundo ahora mismo en el planeta?
Obviously, many consider this as the fight between the two best boxers in the world. Does the winner automatically becomes the best boxer in the planet?
Es lo que ha dicho la gente, es lo que ha dicho la afición, la gente que sabe de boxeo, ¿no? Que el que gane esta pelea va a ser el mejor del mundo, y yo creo lo mismo. El que gane va a ser el
the fans and a lot of the media people have said that, obviously that's what they're saying. They're saying that, possibly the two best fighters in the world fighting each other. I would agree, and I think that the winner should be recognized as potentially the best fighter in the world.
Sí, Canelo, quería preguntarte ya por último, ¿cómo te imaginas la pelea esta contra Golovkin? ¿Cuál va a ser la clave para hoy?
How do you picture this fight with Golovkin, and what's going to be the key to victory?
Bueno, va a ser una pelea dura, va a ser una pelea muy dura de ganar, pero creo que los estilos se acomodan para dar una gran pelea. Eso es garantía ya, ¿no? Nosotros estamos viendo cómo ganar, pero la pelea es garantía de
Yeah, it's not me. I've done media calls with this
It's going
phone
to be a difficult fight. It's
for
going to be
years
a very
now.
hard fight, and that's what we're working on, how to figure out how to win the fight. But it's going to be a very hard fight.
But like I said, I'll have the full high definition version later on today or tomorrow when they release it.
Next we have Gail Falkenthal from Communities Digital News.
Oh, they let Gail on before me. No disrespect, Gail.
We learned last week that Juan Manuel Marquez has officially retired. So I'd like to hear, actually from everybody, who'd like to speak
He's
on
messed up.
his legacy in the sport, and perhaps where you think Canelo might also fit in the legacy of Mexican boxers down the road, along with Marquez and all the other greats.
La pregunta es, obviamente, Juan Manuel Márquez se retiró hace una semana. Históricamente uno de los mejores boxeadores de México. Hay un comentario sobre eso. Y Canelo podría ser el próximo. ¿Qué va a ser el lugar ahora de Canelo de boxeo para México? Creo que estamos en el camino, estamos trabajando. Saúl en la su edad ha logrado bastantes cosas. Márquez, después de los 30 años, es cuando empezó a surgir en las grandes peleas. Nosotros nos gusta compararnos con nadie, estamos trabajando, sabemos que falta mucho camino por recorrer, entonces hay que ganar el 16 para seguir caminando hacia adelante. El objetivo queremos que se
I made this from scratch. There's lemons in there.
Obviously, we don't like to make comparisons. We don't do that. We have
this took a lot of tea bags.
We were
See the
traveling
lemon
on.
and shit.
You want to be considered as one of the best fighters in history for Mexico. Marquez was able to accomplish many things after the age of 30. And Saul, just at 27, his young age, he's already accomplished a lot of big things in the sport. We're concentrating on what we're doing with Saul. We're concentrating on his road to history, and that's what we're working on.
Yeah, I counted 15 tea bags.
Next, we have Rob Huff from FightNews.com.
Good morning. The last person touched on one.
It's very strong. It's very potent.
I was following every little bit of
It's
boxing news.
very potent.
A lot of fighters have been retiring lately. Golovkin's 35, Andre Ward's 33. They're likely not around for all that many more years. And this is over 50 fights now for Canelo, about a dozen years. Has he given any thought to how much longer he might be inclined to do this?
Obviamente se habló, se tocó el tema de Márquez que se retiró y últimamente pues parece que muchos se han estado retirando. Golovkin ya tiene 35 años, Andre Ward tiene 33.
God damn, they're running their mouth about a whole bunch of nothing, aren't they?
Han retirado últimamente, no sé si te has dado cuenta, pero tú le has dado algo de pensamiento que hace.
It's already been 50 minutes.
Más de 10 años. ¿Le has dado pensamiento a eso? No, la verdad que sí he pensado en eso, pero yo he pensado retirarme a los 34, 35 años, es lo que quiero hacer, pero uno nunca sabe lo que el cuerpo, como el cuerpo me reacciona, ¿no? Durante estos años, pero yo no pienso por el momento retirarme.
You know, obviously, it crossed my mind. I thought about it. It crossed my mind. But when it crosses my mind, I'm thinking, when I'm 34, 35 years old, I can't help but think about that. But no, right now, obviously, I'm concentrating on fighting. I'm still fighting, and I'm going to keep going. Anything can happen. Your body, might not react the same after some time. So that's, yet to be a concern. But as of right now, I'm continuing to fight.
And our final question will come from Bernard Fernandez from The Sweet Time.
Yeah, Canelo. Obviously, everyone knows you as Canelo, but in your personal and in your professional, do you think of yourself more as, in your personal life, more of Saul, or as opposed to Canelo, who is more public persona?
Obviamente todos te conocen como el Canelo, pero tú mismo, ¿cómo te ves en tu vida personal? ¿Te ves más como Saúl o te consideras más como Canelo, que todo el público conoce? No, la verdad es que mis amigos, unos me dicen Güero, otros me dicen Saúl, mis amigos, mi equipo, mi familia también. Ahí pues ya la gente conocida, pues a veces me dice Canelo o Saúl. La verdad es que cualquiera de los dos, creo que los dos son mi nombre y hay que aceptarlo, ¿no? Nunca he pensado, pero en sí, siempre fuera del boxeo, fuera del cuadrilátero, pues siempre mis amigos me dicen Saúl o algún otro nombre.
I get called both. A lot of family members and friends, they call me Saúl. Sometimes they call me Güero.
They asking this motherfucker about how he got his name for the last question.
Accept it,
Nobody asked about the undercard.
I have to accept that. That's become natural for me. So, they can call me whatever. But yes, really, a lot of close friends and family, they will refer to me as Saúl.
Thank you. We'll now turn the call back to Oscar De La Hoya for closing comments.
Thank you very much to all the media. Gracias a todos los medios, por todo el mundo. Gracias por todo el apoyo. And we will see you soon. We will be having a open media workout in Los Angeles with both fighters at LA Live. And we will see you soon, September 16th, for the great event with Canelo versus Golovkin. Gracias. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This concludes today's conference. Thank you for participating, and you may now disconnect.
you know, I must admit, what the fuck was that shit? Listen, they got Dan Rayfield twice. All right, the first little media call one-on-one, right? First always is Dan Rayfield. It's always Dan Rayfield. And then it'd be like the LA Times, then it'd be Ring TV, and then they start working they way down the little totem pole. So it's like this. I get a question in every other media call or some shit like that. So sometimes you never know. You just gotta be waiting. You just gotta be waiting. You never know when your name gonna get called. So the last media call I was on, I didn't think my name was gonna get called, so I fucked it up. You know, and I just wasn't ready. I was fucking around in the back and shit. But long story short, I didn't get a question in because they went to Dan Rayfield twice. Okay, understandable. It's ESPN. You know, then they went to ESPN Deportes twice, and they always, every single media call you ever on with ESPN Deportes, they come on some old loudspeaker shit. Always loud. You know, and then a whole bunch of other motherfuckers, they ain't even fucking know who they were. But the problem I have is, which is understandable, these questions they don't be questions that the people who are buying the fights give a fuck about. The people who are buying the fights, they don't give a fuck how fucking Canelo Alvarez got called Saul. They don't give a fuck about that shit. They don't give a fuck about what does it feel like to be fighting, you know, for the 2 titles, and what does it feel like to be fighting in, you know, in the new T-Mobile Arena. Nobody gives a fuck about that shit. God damn it. Nobody gives a fuck about that. But at the same time, I understand it. You know, I understand it. So what we got from the media call is, these are the things I wanted to accomplish personally from this media call. Whether I got to ask these questions or whether they were answered. Number one, what the hell is going on with the undercard? Now, I understand, you know, I've been covering boxing for quite some time, and I've learned a lot about boxing politics. I understand when you have a big fight like this, you really don't need a popping undercard. But my God, what's up with the co-feature? Let me see if she can count today. Hey, Siri. How many days until September 16th?
It's 39 days until then.
Okay, sometimes she be fucking up. Okay, so it's 39 days away. Now, we understand, right, that Mayweather McGregor is like 18 days away, some old bullshit like that, right? And that undercard hasn't been officially announced, but we do know what that undercard is going to be. So I guess you could say, well, do Golden Boy have time? And also, why do they need to focus on an undercard when the fight's already sold out? You know, when the fight's already sold out. So I don't expect for it to be a big undercard. We were hearing names like Lucas Matisse, you know, who is possible. Somebody go to his Instagram and check and see if he's in training or something. Somebody go check his social media. You know, and then, you know, David Lemieux, but he's been dealing with a shoulder injury, which is one of the reasons why he didn't fight Billy Joe Saunders or is not fighting Billy Joe Saunders. So I guess we can just, you know, assume that the undercard is just not going to be good. We were looking at it earlier. You know, who was it? Diego De La Hoya and some other shit. You know, I mean, of course we're going to watch it. You know, and I got some big news. I probably won't have the news until the end of the week. You know, but, you know, whatever the case may be, I'm going to enjoy the shit out that card. You know why? Because this is a fight that, and I'm sorry, every time I start to talk about it, my blood pressure gets a little bit high. This is a stressful job I have, man. But if you got any goodness in your soul, and a lot of you no good scumbag souls, because a lot of you boxing fans are scum. I've learned a lot of you boxing fans are scum. You will buy this fight, and you will be happy you bought it. So if you buy Mayweather versus McGregor, right? You better have your Canelo versus Golovkin money. I don't want to see nobody on social media streaming. I'm gonna curse at you. You can be the most hardest of niggas out there. You know, I'm gonna curse you the fuck out like fuck you nut ass boxing fan. How you ain't gonna buy the fight, bro? That's fucked up. I don't give a fuck who you are. That's some nut ass shit. And then y'all want to talk about what fighters should be making and the politics and all that, but then you don't support the sport. It's no reason why Warren Kovalev 2 should have did some fucking 130,000 pay-per-view buys. What is wrong with you people? You make me sick. You make me sick. for one of the biggest, so much animosity during that boxing fight, during the build-up between Ward and Kovalev. Each press tour was something that you wanted to see. Listen, where was y'all at? Why didn't you buy? So when it comes to this fight, I can't believe, like, you know what? People be talking so much shit, man. People be talking so much shit about, well, you know, I know this about this boxer and everything, but you don't support the sport. That's why motherfuckers going around here talking about UFC beating us, but they're not. Boxing is not dying. Anytime you have a UFC fighter who has to come over to boxing to make the most money he's ever made in his career, he's going to make more money in one night than he made in his entire career. Probably double. He probably will make more than the UFC salaries alone for 1 year. And boxing is not dead. No way. Y'all hurt me, man. Y'all hurt me deep. When I saw those pay-per-view numbers, I was telling people like, yo, Ward Kovalev 2 gonna do some major numbers. There's so much animosity, man. These motherfuckers is pissed. You know, they call Kovalev a racist. He's saying he's gonna crush, you know, Andre Ward and end his career. Andre Ward with the face-offs, never turning away. Andre Ward punched his balls. He punched his balls so hard. He was punching the shit out of his balls. But hey, listen, that last one, it was borderline, but it wasn't low. It wasn't low. You know. You can blame the American media. Yeah, you can. You can. You know, we need change when it comes to boxing media. We need new ways of covering these fights, innovative shit. You know, remember the days of suit and tie boxing media are over. Nobody listens to them. You know, they don't tell you shit. Boxing media is changing, man. It's been changed. You'd be surprised. Let me tell you how it works with boxing media. Boxing writers are more respected when it comes to PR and promotional companies. Like the Yahoos, the ESPNs, the fucking Wall Street Journals, the LA Times, the CBS Sports. You know, they're all respected. And they get special treatment when it comes to the people like us on the YouTube level, competition or not. You know, we need more credit because we sell these fights. We are the hardcore media that's pushing these fights to the people like you that are buying. Our demographic for all of us here on YouTube and on social media. But yet they give the preferential treatment or the special treatment to the writers and shit. The people who have to appeal to the casual fans, but they don't have it. They don't have it to appeal to the casual fans, if it makes sense, outside of their large platforms. But in this day and age, as I said before, you'd be surprised. Every press conference I go to, and you have to understand those are questions that have to be asked. You know, you have to ask those questions. Somebody's got to do it. You know, but every press conference I go to, it's always about the city. You know, how does it feel to fight in the mecca of boxing? And you'll have so many reporters asking that same shit. You know, how does it feel for the first time? What messages do you have for your people back at home? And I can understand all that, but it's like, my God, we just did a media call where nobody asked about the undercard. What in the heck? What in the world? Because, you know, what do we want to know? What do we want to know? What do we people want to know? What do the people want to know? The people want to know what's going on with the undercard. And Canelo, can you give us a reason and not no bullshit? Can you tell us the real shit on why you're not fighting for the WBC, bro? Can you tell us come on, bro? Can you tell us the real shit? Come on. What's the real shit? You see what I'm saying? You know, so I don't know, man. I've been on a mission to try to change some shit. But, you know, it takes, you know, it's no I in team. People thought I was crazy before. Remember, people used to be like, you know, he ain't never gonna get to no fights and no shit like that. I be trying like to ask like real shit, but remember, I can't go in there fucking cowboy, you know, shooting the shit out with all these questions and shit. You know, you gotta slowly work your way in to the point where now people know when I show up to events, they know like, oh shit, He gonna ask the real shit. I had some weird shit happen to me at Bruno Garcia. You know, I'm just saying there was some weird shit. So I had asked Gervonta Davis about Tevin Farmer. And then it was some reporter dude, like he turned and looked at me, and then he did like this wink, like I didn't know what to think of that. It was weird, but the way he did it, I turned and I looked, and he was like, I can't see it, but it was weird, man. But it's like, yo, like you'd be surprised like how we'll be in these media like post-fight press conferences, and the microphone will go around, and I'd be like this, and excuse me, yo, and they look at me, and they're like, go here. You know, just somebody asks some dumb shit, and it's like, yo, people don't care, man. People don't care. So as time goes on, I'm starting to get the reputation of that when I show up to events, people know I'm going to ask some real shit. Because what's going to happen if I come on here and do a live stream, because y'all motherfuckers ain't no good. I told y'all how y'all motherfuckers ain't no good, and a bunch of you are a bunch of bullies anyway. So what if I was to go to an event and ask some dumb shit, come back and do a live stream, and then motherfuckers be like, oh, T-Street, you didn't ask no real shit. You went in there at the motherfucking reporters. Or what if I would have let Adrian Broner punk me, right, at that press conference? Adrian Broner punked you, T-Street. You called me flat-footed and he put you in your place. Come on, man, we're not having that. We're not having it. We're not having it around here. I'm not traveling all the way up to fucking New York, getting lost and shit, getting trapped out there, going broke, you know, and going out there to ask some bullshit. Fuck that. That's why when I go out there, I can't be told no. Don't get me wrong. You know, we had that issue with Mayweather versus McGregor press conferences, but we no longer have any issues with them anymore. For example, we're going to the Mayweather versus McGregor, the Mayweather media workout this Thursday. First try, no emails, no phone calls. We're not having that. So it's like this. I'm not traveling all the way to New York to go to these events. And y'all know me. I'm blessed to be able to be at these events, to get to these events, to be accepted under my own brand, under Fight View 360, something I've created and that I've built. But I don't like being at these fights. I don't get starstruck. Oh, yeah, that's Dave Chappelle. That's 50 Cent. I don't be giving a fuck. You know, I'll be trying to get that footage, get those answers, and get the hell home. You know? Because why? Because my job is to sell motherfucking fights. My job is to sell fights. You may not like my methods. You may be thinking, man, he be playing too much. He be trolling. Listen, my job is to sell fights. My job is to ruffle feathers, to get you all hype up and to tell you that Floyd Mayweather never seen a style like Conor McGregor's or that speed. He never seen that type of style. But we're talking about Canelo versus Golovkin. The fight that the people wanted. The fight that the people wanted. You know, the people been asking for it. Just like they said with Mayweather versus McGregor, the people been asking for it. You, the people. Leonard Albee said it was you that asked for it. He said everywhere he went, the people, you, were asking about the fight. Don't you know, some reporter on that media call asked, on that call asked if Floyd Mayweather was to beat, if McGregor was to beat Floyd, would Canelo fight McGregor? You see how they tried to trick him up? Because what if Canelo would have just said, yeah, hell yeah? They would have been like, oh, okay, come on. Do you honestly think, right? Do you honestly think that if McGregor and Canelo could have happened, that it wouldn't have happened, that Golden Boy wouldn't have went for it? Same thing with Bob Arum and Top Rank. You think if Conor McGregor and UFC called up Manny Pacquiao and said, yo, we can make this super outrageous, crazy-ass freak show fight. It's going to make a whole bunch of money, but we don't give a fuck, bro. You know? Bro. You think that they wouldn't have took that deal? But one thing I got to say, man, I'll tell you. Listen, if I hear any of you, you no good, let me just calm down. Buy Canelo versus Golovkin. Let's show that boxing is not dying. Even though it's not dying, it's only fucked up here in the States. Don't get it twisted. Boxing is not dying. Boxing is thriving over in the UK. Boxing is thriving over there now with King Jeff Horn. You know, Germany, boxing is always lit. Don't forget Japan and China and Thailand. Boxing be lit over there. Canada's boxing, Canadian boxing on the rise. It's just that this shit is fucked up over here in the States right now. Shit is fucked up here, man. You know? Shit is fucked up out here. Like, you know it's going to be chaos. Like, there used to be a time, like, right, in the neighborhood I grew up, like, years and years ago. I was just a boy at the time. But if you have like one group hustling, selling crack on this block, 2 blocks away, you know, they selling crack, they selling crack. Some got better crack than others. Eventually, they all going to go to war, and eventually, they all going to start fucking each other shit up to the point where people are like, yo, too much shooting this shit around here. We ain't going to get our shit from here no more. Or sales going to start dropping. The point I'm trying to make is, when it comes to boxing in the United States, in America, it's too many promoters, you know, and it's not saying that there shouldn't be. It's just that they're not working together, right? You know why the UFC thrives? Because they have Dana White and Zuffa running all that shit. You can't duck nobody in the UFC. When it comes to Eddie Hearn, the 2 major promotional companies over in the UK are Matchroom. The 2 main ones are Matchroom and Box Nation. That's why Eddie Hearn is giving us, you know, big fights over there and putting big fights over there for you guys and rebuilt that market over there. Because he don't allow no politics in this shit. It's not like he's got I got to be able to work with, like over here, right? Golden Boy's got to be able to work with Top Rank's got to be able to work with Golden Boy and PBC. Then you got the Bella who may not like to work with Top Rank and shit. There's too much shit going on. There's too much shit going on. I don't know who's gonna win though. I don't know who's going to win. Now, let me tell you some shit. I'm one of those people that feel that Canelo beat Erislandy Lara. It all depends on my logic for that fight. It all depends on how do you count jabs. Erislandy Lara was doing a lot of movement, throwing a lot of jabs. We're not going to get into that debate. I'm not going to argue with you. You're not going to argue with me. I'm not trying to hear your shit. We're not going to get into you're entitled to your opinion. I'm entitled to my opinion. I feel Canelo beat Erislandy Lara. I feel Golovkin is the better boxer than Canelo. But what has Canelo shown us? He's shown us that he's been able to beat up on boxers who had layoffs, smaller fighters. Looking at Golovkin's resume, though, ain't nothing there. But if you look at those fights, on Golovkin's, and we went through it in detail, if you look at those fights outside of Willie Monroe, all those fights meant something. They were either for a belt or to get to a belt. All of them. Outside of Willie Monroe. And I'm talking about after Ousmane Wadama. When you look at Kell Brook, he had to get that money. That was the biggest penny of his career. He had to get that money. That money was right there. You know? So you have one guy whose resume doesn't look well, but those fights mean something. He wasn't just picking names out of a hat and they didn't mean anything. You have another guy who's been fighting smaller fighters, or a Chavez Jr. at 164.5. Where'd they get that number from? When he said he couldn't make 160 and he dropped his belt, and then he's mad at the WBC. I just don't get it, man. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do something different. I'm going to do something creative. I'm going to take this little end of the video and I'm going to edit it and make it just a whole little video itself. Because then I might go listen to that fucking media call bullshit with that static, right? I might go listen to that shit. And then in the end, I'm pissed off at that media call. Why am I so pissed off? Oh, I had court today. That's why. I knew it, man. My nose, my mustache is like twirling up into my nose and shit, itching my nose. I'm in an uproar today. So what we want to talk about? We have 13, 14 minutes left in this show. Then I'm going to go do some videos and I'm going to pump out some random content. You know, we've been busy. We put out like 20-something videos since like Saturday or some shit. You know? Yeah, I've been pissed off, man. Hold on, I'm looking for something. Hold on. the questions are static. Yeah, man, you know, that wasn't a pleasant experience. With that static, and that wasn't pleasant. That wasn't something, you know, that I was like, oh, I'm really enjoying this media call. God damn it, wow. So what we got from the media call is, truth be told, what was the main shit that got answered? Like, what questions did you have about Canelo versus Golovkin that got answered on that media call? Nothing. I mean, yeah, they asked so Canelo how he got his name, but who cares about that? Right? You know? Oh, here's a question. Canelo is saying he's around 172, 175 right now. So, you know, that's like, you know, that's like some news, I guess, right? He says he's 172, 175. I was like, how don't you know what you are today, though? How don't you know what you are today? It's like, you know, aren't you supposed to weigh yourself every... The fight is 38 days away. I guess he's not really worried about that right now, I guess. You know, but it's like he said he's between 172 and 175, some shit like that. So that was the news that came out of the media call. Let me see what other news. He talked a little bit about how, like, he sparred with Golovkin and said that he learned some shit, you know, that he can't talk about, you know. So she said he learned some shit, you know. But I could have been doing other shit, you know. But it's my job, you know. I'm not complaining, man. Like I said, I'm blessed to be on those media calls and stuff, you know. But I've been on a lot now, a lot of media calls. It'd be a lot of them motherfuckers, you know. You know, and sometimes you get a question and sometimes you don't. You know, that's what I guess that's just life, you know. Life can be like unfair. You know, you may want to be asking questions and shit, you know, but just can't. You know, kill Golovkin's liver. But who was the better fighter though? Also, if you don't know, Golovkin, well, Abel Sanchez is talking that if Golovkin wins, he's gonna vacate and move to 168. Could he get the winner of that 168 tournament? Can you imagine like a Golovkin, Colin Smith or some shit? And what about Canelo if he wins? What is he going to do? Don't be surprised if they try to Cotto rematches either. Don't be surprised if they try to Cotto rematches, right? Canelo versus Cotto 2. Don't be surprised if they try some bullshit, because I was wondering, like, okay, we know Cotto was getting Yoshihiro Kamagai, right? But what did Golden Boy promise him some shit? They promised him, like, well, you come with us, you know, we'll get you that Canelo rematch, bro. We'll get you that big money fight to sing you out your career on another ass whooping. You know, they ain't fighting no Charlo. Canelo ain't fighting no Charlo. And Canelo in a situation right now, see, he already popped his cherry. He already dropped one belt. So now, if it ever came to a point where he was mandatory for a Charlo, remember, he's not fighting for the WBC. So that WBC could very well be vacant. You know, because we don't know if I don't think they want to do it, but if the WBC does it, they could make it, since Canelo's not fighting for the WBC, they could make it so that if Golovkin loses, he loses that WBC title. And it'll just be vacant, then Charlo can fight whoever the number 2 is for the WBC. But let's say, for example, if one of those Charlos were to be the IBF mandatory at 160 and Canelo beats Golovkin, or the WBA mandatory, you think that Canelo ain't gonna be like, man, the belt don't make me, you know, and all that shit, and drop another belt. His cherry already popped. He already popped the cherry, baby. He will drop the shit out of another belt. You think he give a fuck? You know? He will drop the shit out of it. You know? Which Charlo? Didn't Jacobs move up? Oh, man. What you mean? No, Jacobs didn't move up. Jacobs at 160 pounds still. He's coming back October the 14th. The Charlo that just beat one-legged Jorge Sebastian Highland on undercard of Bruno Garcia. That Charlo. You know? Jamal. Jamal is the bigger one. Jamal is IBF. Well, former IBF who beat Julian Williams, moved to 160. He's now WBC mandatory. Jermell is WBC, the one who knocked Charles Hatley out on undercard of Berto versus Porter. You know, see, I can tell now. Before, when I first met him, I got confused. You know, but you can tell now because Jamal is visibly bigger than Jermell. Like, if you're there with him, he's physically, like, he's visibly bigger. So you can tell them apart now. You can tell them apart. But if you see one by himself, you could be kind of confused. Like, is he, which one is that? You know? It's one of mine. Yeah, they say Highland was drunk or some shit. They say he was cool the day before. He got in the ring, just had crazy legs. What was up with that? What was up with that? And then I'm in the back, right? I see him walking, you know, to like the doctor and shit. I'm looking at his legs like, yo, what the fuck was wrong with him? He cool. He wasn't limping or nothing. I think I got the footage. Because I was waiting for, I forgot who I was waiting for to come back. You know, because you see the fighters as they come back and they go to like the doctor and shit before they go back to their locker room. So I see him walking and I'm like, and I'm looking at his legs. I'm like, well, what the fuck? They go back. Because first I thought like, well, damn, they don't got him on like a stretcher or nothing. Man, he was drunk. What if he was drunk? His legs was looking real crazy in there, man. No, I got to find the video. It's mixed in. It's mixed in. Like, it wasn't me recording him. It was just some random ass footage that I had, you know, and I was looking like, oh shit, you know, so it's around somewhere. I should just upload that shit, right? To give Charlo some vindication, because people getting on him like, yo, you don't get no stripes for beating up that one-legged motherfucker. But in the back, ain't nothing look wrong with dude. He was walking like regular. He was walking like regular. And I'm thinking like, well, wait a minute. What the fuck was up with his leg up in there? You know, maybe it was voodoo. What if somebody voodooed him? They did to like, you know, not Pacquiao mom, but somebody else. What somebody voodooed him? No. No, man. You know, I gotta find the footage. I gotta find it. I gotta find it. Somebody probably voodooed him, yeah. He faked it. Hey, listen, something wasn't not. If you look at it and if you're watching in HD, that shit didn't look fake. I think he was drunk. That shit didn't look fake. That shit was weird looking. Like the way it was all popping about, and he couldn't put like no weight on it. Maybe he had a child horse. Who knows? You know, the motherfuckers hurt, man. And they say, like, even if you have shoes on, you gotta take your shoes off and let like your bare foot hit like a cold concrete floor and then go away. You know, to go away. You know? Who knows? Yeah, that shit was weird. But I'm really interested. Like I said, I'm really interested to see. I'm really interested to see. Like what's the route? What's the route for Canelo if he wins? Yes, David Hayes is supposed to be returning in December on against Parker or Fury. Crazy, right? So, like what route does Canelo go if he beats Golovkin? There won't be a rematch. However, if Canelo loses to Golovkin, there'll be a rematch. If Canelo wins, there won't be a rematch. Pacquiao versus Horn, they're trying to put it on ABC in November, around like a football game. It's going to be big. I'm talking about like free television ABC here in the States. So God damn it, let me stay on topic. We only got 9 minutes left. Canelo versus Jacob. See that is possible. That is very, very possible, especially with Al Heyman, you know, and Golden Boy working together. That is very, very possible. Because Danny Jacobs just recently said that Billy Joe Saunders didn't show any interest, and David Lemieux didn't show any interest. And David Jacobs is coming back October the 14th. Yeah, Benavidez Ramirez is not happening anytime soon. Yeah, I just got that news on some random shit. That's some random ass news I got from somebody who followed me on Instagram. Just sent that shit to my inbox. I get a lot of news like that. I think she like fucking with him or something. I think it's like one of, oh, let me shut up. David Lemieux. David Jacobs versus Danny Jacobs said David Lemieux didn't want it, but also David Lemieux was injured. He's dealing with a small shoulder injury. Oh yeah, Lemieux Canelo. Yeah, there you go. That's it right there. That's it right there. So if Canelo beats Golovkin, it'll be Lemieux Canelo, like in May or some shit. You know, fuck around being December. There you go. Yeah, you figured it out. They've been talking about that for a long time. In fact, I believe that they said like I think that Lemieux was like promised Canelo with some shit as long as he kept winning. So yep, there it is. So what I'm going to do is I've been covering the World Boxing Super Series tournament. I'm going to put out a couple videos on that. You know, after I'm done with this, I'm going to clean up a little bit. What else am I going to do? Start some dinner. You know, start some dinner. Put out some videos. I'm gonna put out. You know, a video I'm gonna put out. I'm gonna put out. Even though people be saying that should be old, but I have for example, I have new content that nobody else has, but also I have old shit too. So, you know, I've been drowning in like content, you know, drowning in interviews and stuff from, you know, so I'm slowly putting that out and mixing it in with videos that I do for fights, if you noticed. So the next video I'm going to put out is when Leonard Ellaby was getting chewed out. I mean, Dan Rayfield was getting chewed out by Leonard Ellaby. And then also, what else? What else? Probably something from Dana White that I did a long time ago. I mean, a few weeks ago. You know, some shit like that. You know, so you may see some Hank Lundy stuff I had on my channel, I have on the channel, but that stuff is old, but it's relevant today. And I thought I lost it, and then I found it. I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna put this shit out. I'm gonna put this shit out. Yeah, no, I'm sitting on. I got lots of content, yo. Like I'm blessed to have all this content. I got lots of shit because it just be me editing and uploading the shit, man. So you know, I just be sitting on it. So now I have content for I have lots of content. You know, lots of shit. Then talk shit and still shut up at the press tour. Yeah, right. Give me his credential. Shit. You talking about some he not gonna be covering it. That's not his place. His job is ESPN. You think ESPN gonna let Dan Rayfield tell he's the head of ESPN boxing, right? You think they're gonna let him tell Dan what fight he covering and not gonna cover? Remember he pulled that shit with Ward versus what Ward fight did he didn't cover? Like he really didn't cover? What Ward fight was that? Which one was that? The one with the fucking guy, the little guy. The one before Kovalev. You know? You think ESPN was going to allow him not to cover Mayweather McGregor? Come on. Come on, man. Come on. Come on. I met Dan Rayfield, though. Cool dude, I guess. You know, but that shit is true. That shit is true. Like, once he showed up to the buffet, man, you know, because in one thing, like at the fights, they take care of you. Like, you know, like especially PBC events, they feed the shit out of you. You know, so they say once you show up, you know, you better listen. You better have had your fill. You better have had your fill because everything is going. I'll just leave it at that. Everything's going. You see motherfuckers see them come in, they start getting up there, getting their other plates and shit, wrapping their shit up. You know, for later and shit. Like shit, we ain't getting no leftovers. Get this shit now. You know? I get this shit now. I did the same thing. I saw him coming. I was like, we gonna get my other plate. I did it live on camera. I was like, oh. I was like, oh, he's here. I went up there and started making my other plate. Fuck that. You know, the staff that beat it a little fucking what's the people that call that watch like the food and shit and change the shit out? They be like, oh, you know, the Hispanics. They be like, oh, we're going home early. We're going home early. You know, all food didn't run out. You know, but hey, listen, hey, whatever, man. So yeah, you know, we don't have no mainstream boxing this week. We don't have no boxing this week, yo. So next week is the big one. You know, it's Crawford versus Ndangu. You know, and then what else? That's a big ass card. And there's some other boxing on earlier that day. And then, of course, if you don't know, once Crawford and Ndangu starts, that's the 19th. Every single week, it's a major boxing event or a boxing event for hardcore fans to be watching all the way up until December. Ain't that crazy? And we're talking, and it's still so many fights that hasn't even been announced yet. So we have a very active boxing season coming up. Very active boxing season coming up. You know? Very active. Hold on. About time somebody will be undisputed. Yeah, it is. You are right about that. It is surely about time. Mm-hmm. You're gonna watch my boy? Of course, I watch all of them. Yeah, yeah. He's fighting. I forgot the name of the guy. I forgot the name of I forgot the name of the guy he's fighting. You know, Miller's not. I mean, White versus Miller is not going to happen. I don't see that happening before White Chisora 2. I don't see that happening before even White Bermain Stavern. Off the top, if you know it's been a while, your channel been sitting at 20K, not to mention much. I mean, it's like this. That really doesn't like really bother me, I guess. Like people like it's like this, like my subscribers are growing. For example, we've and this is plus minus. We've gained 700 in the last 40 days, something like that. You know, but the key to subscribers is consistency. You know, and also I'm wealthy. I'm not. I hate to keep. I don't talk about it. I don't talk about it because I don't look at it like that. But I don't need this for money. I lose money every month doing this. When you factor in my equipment, when you factor in the cable bill, when you factor in you know, travel expenses, you know, everything that I do, you know, that shit all costs money. And I only make about what? An average of $200 a month off of YouTube or some shit. You know, so look at me. If you, depending on how you look at it, I give to the sport, to cover the sport. You know, so I'm not really like it's like this. I'm not concerned about subscribers, like as far as them growing, because what I'm trying to do, or what I am doing is we're leapfrogging our competitors. We're not after subscriber. No, it's going to get to a point that when we have all our shit in order and everything's consistent, you know, then we're going to be better than all our competition. There's not too many people on YouTube now. There's not too many people on YouTube now that does videos where you see the person, where I'm live, I'm a person, you know? Like we have our own market, and truth be told, we have, you can say 27,000. How many people got 27,000 subscribers? You know? So, you know, I've been doing YouTube for so long. It's like this channel turned 3 years old on July the 28th. You know, I'm not here to be just, you know, like we're trying to take over boxing media, which is why we have access to every single boxing event in the world. So even if you don't see progression on the YouTube channel, understand that I have a multimedia platform. We have social media. We have a website. You know, we have so many a reputation with promoters and everything. You know, we have so much going on outside of YouTube. YouTube is small change compared to like what we have. So, you know, you look at like the YouTube and say, well, it's only 27,000, only 27,000. You know, only. You know, remember, I can still, after a major fight, do 50, 60, 70,000 or 100,000 plus views. Let's not get that twisted. So, you know, like when the times matter and when it comes to the major fights, you know, the people have been watching me for years, they still come out. They still want to hear what I have to say. So, you know, right now we're trying to bring you something different than what you're getting on YouTube or on social media when it comes to boxing. You're getting a media reporter, right? And myself, you know, you're getting a media reporter, right? In myself, where you know the person. Like I'm a regular ass dude, but yet I be right there with the fighters now. Or if I'm not there, we have people at events scattered all over the world. You know, so the goal is, you know, to do my little world tour over the next 7, you know, months or so. Do my little world tour over the next 7 months or so. You know, and then send nobody, you know, and then like send people to fights and not go myself. When we get the podcast rolling, you gain a lot of supporters. The podcast will be rolling definitely for sure, consistently on Mondays after Canelo versus Golovkin. So it's like this, you know, and that's another good thing. Once I get the podcast right, and that's consistency. Because remember, you do a podcast, it has to be consistent. It has to be consistent. You know, I was never Don Juan's bitch. People be saying that. But yeah, he was on some bitch ass shit. That was some bitch ass shit. You know, so when you can do a podcast, that's consistency. Also, those podcasts will bring people to the channel, the website active. That will bring in a different type of a viewer. So you know, we got things, and you know how the saying goes. You know how the saying goes. It's like Rome wasn't built in a day. So you know, to the people that matter, like the PR people, the promoters, the ones who give us the credentials, as long as we have their respect and you know what we're doing, then I'm cool. I can give a fuck what a supporter has to say. No disrespect, not in that way. But what I'm trying to say is the people who matter know what we're doing is big and they know what we're doing is legit. That's why we wouldn't be getting to these events, right? You just don't say, oh, well, I'm gonna be a media reporter. I'm gonna go to these boxing events. That shit is not easy, bro. You know how many events we had to get turned down, you know, to get to this point? That shit's not easy. You can't just say, oh, I want to go cover this fight and they let you in. No. They want to know what you can do for them. You know, so, you know, don't get it twisted. Like I said, I be making shit look easy. You know, but this shit is not easy. You know, I had to lose a lot to get to this point. I had to lose a lot, like a lot. You know, and then remember, I'm going through a custody battle, a heated custody battle, you know, and I'm just trying to cover boxing. So we're going to have phone-ins, yes. We're going to have all that stuff. And right now, this is actually a point in time like where I'm actually, this is a point in time like when I'm actually ahead. You know, like before, it was like, oh, man, we got these deadlines to me. I got to get this done. Now it's just like, yo, like this winter's going to be really, really good for T Street Controversy and Fight U360. Because we had, like, the hardest part was getting the faith of the PR and the promoters. That was the hardest part. You know, so therefore, so I can, like, off of my name, off of me, I can contact the promoter and say, you know, I want our guy or my guy to cover this fight. This is his name. Can you let him in? You see what I'm saying? So it took a lot to get to that point. And they watch my videos. You think they don't come to my channel? This is the main point of the views, you know? You think they don't come to the channel? So, you know, even though they may say, like, yo, you be on some crazy shit sometimes, but, you know, they be like, well, you know, you do work hard. And that's all it's about. My job is to cover fights. And I make sure I let them know, hey, listen, I don't make no money off of this. I'm putting money into this sport. And I'm cussing people out for not buying fights. I cuss you out. You don't buy fights, I curse you out. You don't buy fights, I cuss you out. Simple as that. Did you make the Loma fight? Hell no. Where's the Loma fight at? Oh, somebody block Marcus Phoenix. Somebody block him. Ban him forever. Ban him forever. There's a new day around here, bro. There's a new day around here. T-Street full-fledged now, bro. Somebody, where's my mods at? Like, block him forever. Thank you. Yeah, let me calm down. We're not going to talk about how you people don't buy no fights. So, you know, like I said, I'm blessed to be, you know, in a situation where, like, yo, like, we get to fights now, you know? We get the fights now. So I can't, like, that's a blessing. Like, I can't put it into words like how blessed that shit is to be like, yo, we get the fucking fights, you know? So yeah, my bad. I forgot about the delay. We got 7 minutes. The reason why I was running my mouth, so it extended. So, you know, now I got to go for another 7 minutes so it can be a nice hour and 45-minute video. I don't like when a video says 1 hour 36 minutes or some shit like that. You know? Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. You know, people are, you know how motherfuckers gonna be. You know how motherfuckers are. They're gonna be like, you know, well, you didn't get to this fight. You didn't get to this fight. I built my own business, bro, from the ground up. You need to go out on the food run again. Nah, we've been doing pretty good on like the diet. You know, I did. You know, after I lost out on the Broner fight, you know, I did get a little depressed after I lost out on that payday. You know, I went out and ate a whole bunch of food. You know, but feeling a lot better now. I've been watching my weight, really relaxing. You know, breathing has been good. You know, Paulie pissed about conditions. Yeah, Paulie is fucking bitching. Paulie is no. We're not going to talk about Mayweather McGregor in this video. We're not going to do it. We're not going to do it. See how y'all trying to get me? See, no, we're not talking about Mayweather McGregor in this. No. You see how y'all try to trick? Y'all, that's some tricksters. Y'all some tricks. Y'all got some. What's it called? Some rouge. What's that? A cunning attempt to trick somebody? Some shit like that. Y'all got some rouge with you, huh? Try to trick me. You know, talking about Paulie. Paulie on the talk show circuit. Paulie been on a show every day. Paulie been on a different show every day. Talking that shit. Talking that shit. What way do you feel most comfortable at? You know, I can make 150. I can make 150. I'm about 240 now, about 245. Last I checked, I'm about 245 now. About 245 now, some shit. You know, some shit like that. You know, but you know, anything's possible through God's will. The first thing I did with my diet is I eliminated carbonated beverages. So I haven't been drinking soda. I've been making like big ass pitchers of homemade tea with tea bags and shit. You know how like you fucking boil the tea bags and then you gotta wait for like it to cool and then mix some water in and shit. You know, so it can like dilute and stuff. Yeah, I can get down on 150. I mean, it'll be rough, but like I said, anything's possible through the will of God. Through our Lord and Savior, anything's possible. You know, I might be fucked up looking, you know, probably heavily risking organ failure, but I'd be good. I'd be good. As long as I have my little fucking fluids, and I'll probably just rehydrate. I'll probably just rehydrate like 70 pounds, some shit overnight. Some shit. You know, but Broner fucked it up. He fucked up the payday. Everywhere I go, listen, this is real shit. Everywhere I was going, people's like, yo, man, you really fighting Broner, yo? And I'm like, man, he just got to take care of business on July the 29th. You know, I was cutting weight. I was eating like just rice with no seasoning and stuff. And I was eating like a lot of veggies and stuff. I was running. You know, I went to the doctor about my asthma. You know, and he fucked up our money. The people wanted it. The people wanted Broner T Street. You know, now it's, you know, now I can't fight it. You know? Do you think you could have beaten Broner? What? Broner never seen speed like mine. Listen, y'all don't know. Y'all think it's a joke. Broner never seen the style. Broner never seen a style like mine. He never seen speed like mine. Like, I would have confused him. I would have been confusing him. There's no money in Broner T Street no more. There's no money. I got bigger fish to fry. I'm gonna just wait for somebody else to call me out, and then I'm gonna talk shit. I'm gonna keep talking shit. I'm gonna wait for somebody else to call me out. You know, so it's about timing. The right fight gonna come along. The right fight gonna come along. You know, y'all gonna see what T Street's about. The right fight gonna come along. Gonna hire a tranny. The fuck is you talking about, dude? Oh, we got the power bottoms in the chat. I forgot. After a while, you get the sodomites in the chat, the freaks. If you stay on too long, good thing we only got 2 minutes left. Good thing we only got 2 minutes left. So I can get the hell out of here. The freaks are coming out. Fucking freaks. I'm gonna take a little break, go play some video games. No, I'm not gonna start dinner. Then I'm gonna come back, you know, do some videos. I'm gonna do a video on Miras Briedis versus Mike Perez in the World Boxing Super Series. A video on the Dylan White fight, and 2 more videos I'm supposed to be doing. And also I'm going to release like some random footage that I have in my archives of, I think it's probably going to be Leonard Ellerby owning Dan Rayfield, and probably I'm going to find something that I have maybe from like Peter Fury or something random and put that out. You know, some shit like that. You know, so I'm teaching controversy, man. This is teach. Oh, we got 2 more minutes. Damn it. We started at 2:01. We got 2 more minutes. Did you see Jose Aldo train with Robert Garcia? No, why would I give a shit about that? Nope, I'm not going live again. Nope. No more live videos. No, hey, listen. We've been consistent over the last couple days, and I'm maintaining this consistency because I don't have to go anywhere this week. You know, so we put out, you know, no, we don't need to put out any live videos. We may do one this weekend. We may do one this weekend. So yeah, in the last, since Saturday, we've put out 1, 2, 3, 4, 26 videos. Wait, 24. 25, 26, 27, 28. 28 videos since Saturday afternoon. The first one was when I did the one on Con Wife. So we want to keep this consistency going. You see what I'm saying? You know, and that's how subscribers start going up. We gained 25 since yesterday. That's how subscribers start going up. And that's how, you know, you get people to be like, oh, yo, he's back. He's back, you know? So that's what we're doing. And plus, you know, we got to be getting ready for the money grab. The money grab is 18 days away. We got to get that money. We got to get that money. Because if you wait too late to get in on a money grab, it's going to be over. So we're already in on a money grab. Like I said, numbers are right. We're already in on it. We in on that money grab. We in on it. You know, so you see Paulie in on it. You know, Paulie for sure in on it. Watch. Paulie going to be on Dr. Phil and shit. You know, getting in touch with his inner feelings on how Conor put that work on him in sparring. Then he's going to go on Anderson Cooper later on tonight, right? Right? You're going to see him on the Breakfast Club. He's going to be on the Breakfast Club. Then sometime next week, you're going to see him with Sway. Yeah, Paulie is milking it like a motherfucker. He's milking it. And he letting out little pieces like what was the headline today? He's scum. He treats, you know, what does he say? He was, you know, yeah, Paulie milking us like a motherfucker. Yo, God bless him. No, listen, can you be mad at him? It's the money grab. You gotta get it. Listen, let Paulie get his money. Let Paulie get his money. Y'all some haters. So you're gonna be on Jimmy Kimmel. They're like, well, can you tell us about Conor McGregor? Well, you know, he's you know, very, very, very ignorant guy. You know, he doesn't take care of his team. You know? So they're going to do the exclusive sit-down with Oprah? The exclusive sit-down with Oprah? No, this ain't that big. This ain't that big of a money grab. Is the money grab that big? Is the money grab really that big? It's not that big of a money grab. Not for Oprah. I'll see you guys later, man. I'm going to pump out some videos. Teacher Controversy is a Teacher Controversy Live. Please subscribe.